We have made it to Season 6 of the St. Louis Dragons franchise, and today we start with Week 1 on the road at Jerry's World against the reigning number 1 seed in the NFC, the Dallas Cowboys. Last episode was the NFL Draft, where we wrapped up the offseason and were able to add some young talent to the roster. In case you missed that episode, I recommend you check out the series playlist, where you can find any episode of the series that you may need to catch up on. It was a pretty exciting draft, with the Titans picking Middle Tennessee State pass rusher Mapanos Gaspar number 1 overall. We had 3 quarterbacks go in the first round, including the LA Rams, our division rival, selecting Gavin Hennessy from Alabama. As for the St. Louis Dragons, we moved down a couple spots in the first round, grabbing pass rusher Zion Creed out of Michigan. It's no secret that we needed help in the trenches. That's where our focus was this offseason. In free agency, we put more resources into the offensive line, and now we get a big-time pass rusher who can hopefully complement Simeon Bonnet, who of course got the big extension. We drafted Mason Rosenberg in the second round, and he looks like a monster. 79 overall, hidden development. He will compete to start at guard and center in the preseason, so there's a good chance he ends up with one of those spots. After that, we added a couple of playmakers in the third round with tight end Wilson Voafana from South Florida and wide receiver / running back hybrid from BYU, Jalen Mallard. On day 3, we focused on defense with Damar Knight, Srijan Bazar, and Essie Fortis. Overall, I think we had a fantastic draft, and the offseason as a whole went really well for us. Obviously, this roster changed a lot, and after a disappointing season last year, we knew we had to shuffle the deck. Veterans who had been here a while, gone. New faces, especially on the offensive and defensive line, should hopefully make this team a lot better going into Season 6, and it's going to be a challenge. Our schedule this year is a gauntlet. We play in a strong division. We have a first-place schedule, being that we won the division last year. We have to play the NFC South, and we have to play the AFC East. It starts with the reigning number 1 seed Dallas Cowboys in Week 1. That's followed by the Carolina Panthers, who have been a perennial Super Bowl contender over the last few years. Then we get 4 straight divisional games. The last 3 are on the road. That brings us to our bye week. The reward of coming off the bye, we get Patrick Mahomes and then Josh Allen. That is an unbelievably hard 8-game stretch to begin the year, but it doesn't get easier. The NFC North champion Lions. New England's one of the best teams in the league. The Saints almost made the Super Bowl last year. The Buccaneers aren't that good, but now they have a really talented offense. Atlanta nearly won the Super Bowl last year. You know who beat them? The Miami Dolphins. And then we have 2 divisional games at the end. Other than the Bucs and maybe the Jets, that schedule is loaded. And boy, are we in for a challenge here in season number 6, and I am ready for it. This is our haul of undrafted free agents. It's also worth noting that we did bring back Joe Mixon. That's something I had wanted to do throughout the offseason. We brought him in late last season for his second stint here, and I thought he was pretty good, especially once Milan Santa got injured. Let's take a look at the depth chart for the preseason, and as you guys know, I don't love starting starters in the preseason. We do have the rookies playing, such as Rosenberg and Mallard. Rosenberg's going to play right guard and center. And we've got some of these other potential starting offensive linemen who need to earn their spots, such as JT Robinson and Bugsy Briggs. On defense, I'm excited to see Ronrakis Barber with a big role. I'm excited to see some of these pass rushers, including, of course, the first-rounder, Zion Creed. If you'd like to skip to the regular season, by the way, I'll put a timestamp in the description. One of our standouts during camp has been Malachi Weston, who we signed as a rotational pass rusher. Weston was a second-rounder a few years ago by the Saints. He just never really got a chance to show what he was made of, and I think there's some untapped potential with him, and I think he can be a solid player for us. I really want to focus on continuing to improve his ability as a pass rusher. I think that's where he's going to make his money as a rotational guy on third downs. We ended up going 0-3 in the preseason. Not ideal, but there were a few guys who performed pretty well. Zyrell Gibbs finished second in passing yards. He got a majority of the snaps at quarterback over Chance Matomolo. We kind of know what we have with Matomolo. He's been in the league for 3 years. He's played in more playoff games than Puma Whitlock. Out of the backfield, Zeke Mosley was our most impactful runner. We had a handful of 100-yard receivers, but it was really the offensive line that I was impressed by, and then the defense. Zion Creed flying around the field, 18 tackles, 3 for a loss. We had some of these other defensive linemen play well. Trajan Blyshenden was pretty good. Obviously, Malachi Weston had a good camp. Cameron Dicker had a rough preseason, but he always sucks in the preseason. I don't know why. We've got 15 players we have to cut. We're going to be able to send most of these guys to the practice squad, including Zyrell Gibbs. We're going to roll with 2 quarterbacks. We're going to have 5 running backs, though. Our running back room got depleted last year. I think we need more depth as Zeke Mosley makes the final roster. We're going to roll with 6 receivers, 3 tight ends. Gary Berry gets cut with the addition of Wilson Voafana. Keaton Quinton's one of our surprise cuts. We traded for him last year at the deadline. We're going to cut both of our centers. Zach Tom and Mason Rosenberg can both play there. On the defensive line, we're going to roll with 7 ends. Cohen Della Vienna was a guy I thought about sending to the practice squad, but I feel like he's a little bit too good. Case Willard was a little bit of a surprise. He was on the practice squad last year. And then in the secondary, it's worth noting that these guys are all going down. Trey Flynn will make the final roster. He did not make it as a rookie, but I believe he made it last year, and he'll make it again this season. So that's going to be the final 53-man roster, and now it's time to look at the depth chart for Week 1 here of Season 6. And there are a few positions that I'll be monitoring pretty closely, especially on offense. Out of the backfield, will Milan Santa take a big leap in year 2? I expect Santa to have a big role in the offense, but for now, Darwin Juskins will still be the lead runner with Santa being the complement. At receiver, Amarion Cephas has to earn his opportunity to stay on the field because Colin Robinson and Jalen Mallard are going to be chasing him. Mason Rosenberg has won the starting center job. And then defensively, DJ Orleans will be our second defensive end after Simeon Bonnet. I know it says Creed is starting, but we run most of our packages in nickel and dime formations, so it'll be mostly Orleans on the field. We're going to try to get Weston and Blyshenden out there quite often, along with, of course, Devontae Wyatt. Now it's time to name team captains. 3 of our captains from last year, Simeon Bonnet, Puma Whitlock, and Cam Lucifer, are back. But we need 3 new captains with guys leaving, such as Amarion Cephas, Lane Johnson, and Devin White. So we'll start with Arturo Modelo. The 4th-year receiver finally gets to be a captain. I wanted to get this to guys who had the leadership tag, and he has that. Darwin Juskins will be our other offensive captain, and we're going to take him off the trade block. I don't know why he's there. I don't want to trade him. And then defensively, it'll be Owen Popo, who now has the green dot, replacing the role of Devin White, who's been the leader of the defense out of each of the first 5 seasons for us. Let's go back to Malachi Weston, who of course had a great training camp, and he's a guy who's got a lot to prove because I feel like he's been labeled as kind of a bust after not performing in New Orleans. I still see the talent with him though, and if he plays well against the Cowboys, he could have a breakout opportunity. Next up, let's look at our season goal. I feel like I would be wrong to choose anything other than win the Super Bowl. That's the goal. Our offseason was focused on putting ourselves in a position to win a championship this year. Let's take a look at our opening day matchup here against the Dallas Cowboys, who are obviously a really good team. They were the number 1 seed last year, getting upset in the playoffs by New Orleans, who of course beat us the round prior. And with Dallas, they've made the Super Bowl twice over the last 4 years, but they've been a little inconsistent since then. In Season 4, they were one of the worst teams in the league. And then in last year, Season 5, they were really good once again, but they went one and done in the playoffs. I want to focus on the defense, in particular, stopping the pass. Dak Prescott's getting older, but he is still one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and these guys have probably the most dangerous receiving trio in the NFL. The Cowboys roster head-to-toe is one of the stronger ones in the league, and we'll start at quarterback. After they won the Super Bowl a couple years ago, they drafted Connor Kenyon in the first round, but they haven't needed him to play because Dak Prescott is still really good. He's 35 years old, his rating has dropped off dramatically, but his play has not. Dak Prescott has been one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL since we started this series, and obviously he's been able to get over the hump, making the Super Bowl twice, winning it once, and he still seems to have the future in this league as a starting quarterback. I'm a little concerned for them with their run game. Tyler Algier is a guy they just picked up in preseason. They've got him and Elijah Sutton. The receivers, though, are dangerous. CeeDee Lamb, Dynamite Williams, DJ Moore. That's the best receiving trio in the NFL. CeeDee Lamb and Dynamite Williams are 2 of the, at minimum, 5 best receivers in the league right now, and obviously DJ Moore is no slouch. Defensively, they're still led by Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs. Not as strong on that side of the ball, but still a pretty good unit. We've got one more order of business to go through before we enter this game against the Cowboys, and that's relating to quarterback Puma Whitlock. It seems like a lot of you guys are unsatisfied with Puma Whitlock's play, or more so lack thereof, with his recent injuries, including last year in the playoffs. And I think the injury-prone narrative around him is a little bit unfair. He's only missed 4 starts, counting the postseason, in his NFL career. And if you want to count the Saints game last year, that would be 5. 5 missed games out of 4 years is a pretty good hit rate. It's just that he's gotten injured at unlucky times. Regardless, though, I'm not sure if him playing at below 200 pounds is sustainable. And if we're going to sign him to a long-term extension, we need him to get bigger. So he has gained 25 pounds over the offseason. His injury, toughness, and stamina rating will go up by 5, but as he gets bigger, he's going to lose some explosiveness. Speed, acceleration, agility, and change of direction will go down by 2. So it's kind of a trade-off with Puma. He's bigger, he's stronger, he's less injury-prone, but he's also a little bit slower and less athletic. So let's now get this show on the road. Week 1 of Season 6 is here. Despite winning the division a year ago, last season felt like a failure for the St. Louis Dragons. The vibes of the team fell off, and because of that, we had a massive offseason with a very large chunk of the roster being overhauled. There are many expectations for this team going into Season 6. Of course, headlined by Puma Whitlock, who is on the final year of his contract and is expected to ask for over $350 million in an extension. The opponent here, the number 1 seed from last year, the Dallas Cowboys, as this one is underway. The rookie out of BYU, Jalen Mallard, is on the return, and Mallard brings it to around the 25-yard line. The Dragons want to find ways to get the ball in the hands of this rookie playmaker. I think he can be a spark plug for us this year. So let's take a look at Puma Whitlock, entering his 5th season, now 26 years old. He's not a young kid anymore. He's been around the block. Expectations are high for him. Can Puma Whitlock take another step as a passer while simultaneously staying healthy? 3rd and inches. It's a handoff up the middle for Milan Sansa, who gets the first down. And he's hurt. Great. PCL strain for Santa. His day is done. Not a serious injury, though, but also not ideal. 2nd and 10 now from the 41. Puma looks to throw it under pressure. He is sacked on the play by Dyson Dwayne, the former number 2 overall pick out of Utah State, winning the rep against the new left guard, JT Robinson, one of 4 new starters on the offensive line. 3rd and 16. Puma looking downfield. He's got his man. It's Amarion Cephas for the first down. Cephas, the 4th-year receiver out of Georgia, acquired in an offseason trade with the Bucs, looks to replace Griffin Weaver in the slot. Weaver, of course, ironically signed with the Bucs. Puma, play action, looking downfield. He's got his man. It's Modelo time. Arturo Modelo with the touchdown. And the Dragons march down the field on the opening drive of the season to take the lead. Along with Puma, it's also a contract year for Arturo Modelo, who's been statistically one of the best receivers in the NFL over the last 2 years. Makes a big play there, and the Dragons already lead 7-0. 3rd and 8. Dak hit as he throws, incomplete. That's Trajan Blyshenden with the pressure. Blyshenden signed a 1-year extension to return to the Dragons this past offseason. On first down, Puma looking, incomplete. Oh my God! Puma Whitlock is hurt. You have got to be kidding me. All of that offseason training, and he gets hurt on the 2nd drive of the game. Chance Matsumolo thrust it in at quarterback. As on 3rd down, he looks to run with it, and he gets 3, wrapped up by Dyson Dwayne, who's been all over the field today. As for Puma, bruised ribs, not a serious injury. The Dragons dodge a bullet. He will return to the game, but not for this drive. So Chance Matsumolo will stay in. The Dragons are going to go for it on 4th down as Juskins has plenty of room to the left side with a juke and a first down. Big run for Juskins off of an aggressive play call by the Dragons. You know they love to be ballsy on 4th down. Doing it here. On 1st down, Matsumolo under pressure. He is sacked by Micah Parsons. Now in his 8th NFL season. The talented edge rusher, a stalwart on this Dallas defense. 3rd and 14. It's a screen for Jalen Mallard, his first NFL reception. And he is nowhere to go, losing 3. KJ Bowman brings him down, and that'll bring out the field goal unit. Puma's out there holding the kick. It's a 52-yarder for Cameron Dicker. Close one, and it squeaks through. So the kick from Dicker, the kicker, is good, but barely. And the Dragons lead 10-0. 3rd and 2 here for Dallas. Dak looks to throw it, and it is incomplete. Looking for the running back, Teddy Adam. as he was wide open. He broke Jabril Fofana's ankles, but the throw was offline. St. Louis has it back. Puma's back in the game as he gets it to Amarian Cephas for the first down. Puma's still a little bit dinged up. I imagine we're going to see a lot of short passes from him, looking to avoid getting hit. 2nd and 5 up the middle. Good grab by Isaiah Likely. He's got the first down to the 39, and that'll wrap up the first quarter. Other than Puma getting dinged up, great start. The Dragons look fantastic on both sides of the ball. 3rd and 3. Puma looking downfield. He's got Modelo, who breaks a tackle and brings it to the 7. Big play by Arturo Modelo, who's already off to a great start today, as expected. 1st and goal now. The Dragons looking to add to their lead. Already up 10-0. Puma looking short. He's got Modelo again! Arturo Modelo with his 2nd touchdown of the first half, and the Dragons lead 17-0. It's a 3-score game before the Cowboys can even get a first down. I know it's early, but man, do the Dragons look good. Dak up the middle, connects with CeeDee Lamb. Finally, the Cowboys get their first down of the game. It took them nearly 12 minutes and 17 points allowed later. 3rd and 1 now, hand off for Teddy Adam. Gets by a defender and barely gets the first down, but he does, and that'll keep the drive moving. Adam was the main running back last year for the Cowboys as they've had trouble replacing former Super Bowl MVP Tony Pollard. DJ Moore with a nice play. He brings it to the 37-yard line. Moore as a wide receiver 3 is about as good as it gets behind CeeDee Lamb and Dynamite Williams. From the 33, Dak's looking downfield. He's got DJ Moore wide open into the end zone for a touchdown. The 11th year receiver with the score. Cam Lucifer was about 3 steps behind him. He got toasted. Dragons back with it. 3rd and 3. Pass for Modelo is off the mark. Broken up by Luar Del Rio, who spent the first 4 seasons of his NFL career in Jacksonville before returning home to Texas, where he played his college ball at Texas A&M. 3rd and 7. Ferguson's wide open on the wheel route. The Dragons just cannot defend those wheel plays. We saw it last year, and so far it's been an issue again. Now from the 41, the Cowboys offense finally in rhythm. Dak on the curl route connects with DJ Moore once again. DJ Moore's having himself a first half. Cam Lucifer has had a rough day covering him. 3rd and 5. Prescott up the middle. He's got CeeDee Lamb, who makes a great grab. Again, that was Lucifer in coverage, who continues his very poor start. 2nd and 5 now from the 10. Under a minute to go here in the half. Prescott looks to throw it up the middle. He's got Ferguson, who powers his way for a touchdown. The veteran tight end, Jake Ferguson, makes it 17-14. At the beginning of this quarter, this game looked like a blowout. Dallas is right back in it. The Dragons looking to respond here offensively. They've got 40 seconds and all 3 timeouts. Puma with a shot downfield for Modelo. He brings it out of bounds with 32 seconds left. The Puma to Modelo connection has been unbelievable in the first half, as we could have expected, right? 3rd and 1 now. Dragons down to 1 timeout in 24 seconds. Here's Puma under pressure. Hit as he throws, and it is broken up. Broken up for Juskins. So now it's 4th and 1. The Dragons could go for a 55-yard field goal, or they could go for it. That's what they're going to do, being aggressive. Wide open hole for Juskins. He's got the first, fumbles the ball, and it's picked up by the defense. So the Cowboys forced the turnover on 4th down after Juskins got it, and then some. A massive play for the Dallas defense, if it stands, because this play will be reviewed. Let's take a look at the replay here. And as you can see, knee is down. I don't think he fumbled it. The play will be reversed. A massive break for the Dragons, who call their last timeout, keeping the ball. They're still not going for the field goal, though. They want it all, and they got it all! Amarian Cephas into the end zone for a touchdown. And the Dragons add to their lead here at the end of the half. What a debut for Amarian Cephas. He has been excellent here in this first half. And an absolute dot by Puma Whitlock with 3 defenders in the area. Doesn't matter. He trusts his receiver to make a play, and he does. 3 first-half passing touchdowns for Puma Whitlock, who has silenced the doubters, at least for now. The Dragons' offense looks unbelievable so far. They lead at 24-14. The defense started off great, In the second quarter, not so much. So hopefully the defense can pick it up, but they might not need to if the offense continues to play this well. Let's take a look at our halftime report around the rest of the league. We'll start in Baltimore. The Jets are a really fascinating team to me because they signed Deacon Adderley in the offseason, the former Buck quarterback. So far, so good. They lead 21-14 with this touchdown by the rookie out of Ohio State, Feliciano Devereaux. Let's check in on Tennessee. The Titans obviously won one game last year. Not supposed to be very good this season. And it is the Texans who lead 10-0 with this long touchdown from C.J. Stroud to Brandon Ayuk. Can the Texans win their division once again? And in the Big Easy, the Saints are on upset alert. Deontay Harris and the Bucs lead 20-7 with this touchdown from the former Dragon, Griffin Weaver. It seems like the Griffin Weaver and Amarion Cephas trade-off has worked pretty well for both teams, being that each of those players have scored here in the first half, and we move into the third quarter now. I think we've ran the ball well. Obviously, the passing game has been brilliant. Let's keep it moving in the air. Puma Whitlock looks awesome. Let's keep it going. Defensively, we've got to see more from the passing defense. I feel like the coverage has been spotty, and it's gotten worse throughout the game. It looked really good in the first quarter, but the second, not so much. We don't want the Cowboys getting back into this game. As up the middle on third down, it's Tyler Algier with the first down as DJ Orleans, the free agent edge rusher, is hurt on the play for the Dragons. Not ideal. St. Louis has already gotten banged up early and often in this game. From the 42, there's a nice throw for DJ Moore again. This time it's Okudah who loses the rep. DJ Moore and CeeDee Lamb have both been really good. Dynamite Williams, though, in the slot has been really quiet. On first down, it's a blitz. Owen Popo takes it home. He's in with the first sack of the year for the defense as it's a loss of 7. Big play there by Popo. He bounces off the block from the running back and makes the play. Third and long, wide open. It's CeeDee Lamb who tells the defense to CeeDee's nuts. Lamb with his second touchdown of the game. That's Cam Lucifer again, who gets toasted once more. He has been burnt toast today. Puma up the middle here on first down. He's got Jamison Williams who makes the play. J-Mo so far overshadowed by the other receivers, but has been pretty solid as Leighton Vander Esch is in there off the blitz. He gets half a sack. It looked like Parsons was there as well. He won the rep against the new left tackle, Sharif Sully, who signed an $80 million deal in the offseason. Sully, of course, played his first 4 seasons here in Dallas with the Cowboys. Third and long, it's Mallard, the rookie, with the first down to the 26. If Mallard had stayed upright, I feel like he could have taken that to the house, but still a nice grab by the third rounder. Darwin Juskins to the outside going backwards. It's Vander Esch again making the play. Dallas's run defense has been pretty subpar so far, but that was a good stop. Second and 11. Here's Jamison Williams with room. Can he get into the end zone? Not quite, but he brings it to the 2. Big play there for J-Mo as the pass attack continues to be dangerous. The Cowboys have no answer. Puma keeps it himself on the option. He's in with a rushing score, his 4th all-purpose touchdown of the game. What a showing from Puma Whitlock as the Dragons are back up by 10. Even with Dallas's offense really starting to play well, it still won't matter. The Dragons are unstoppable right now on that side of the ball. 31-21, Dallas back with it. 2.5 to go. In the third, it's tipped and picked. Cam Lucifer with the interception, and the Dragons will get it with great field position. It's been a rough day for Lucifer. He was at the right place at the right time, but still got to give him credit for hanging on his first interception of the year, and the Dragons get it back. First play of the drive. Look at all this room for Darwin Juskins, who gets it all the way to the 12. I feel like the pass blocking's been mediocre, but the run blocking has been night and day from last year. The new offensive line making their mark. 3rd and 7. Puma on the run. Looks to outrun Parsons, and he cannot. Puma's got to get used to being a little bit slower. If this was Puma from last year, I think he would have beaten Parsons to the edge, but he's not 194 pounds anymore. He's 220. Kick on the way from Dicker is good. And so it's now 34-21. As the interception by Lucifer directly results in a 3-point swing. So the Cowboys have it back, now trailing by 13. Still a 2-score game. Play action. Dak under pressure from Bonnet as it's dropped by Okudah, and now Bonnet is dinged up. Not ideal. Not a serious injury for Bonnet, but the last thing we need our $160 million edge rusher to do is get hurt. 3rd and 10, it's a halfback draw, and they nearly got it. Teddy Adam gets 9. Thankfully, Bleichenden is there to bring him down. The Dragons completely fooled by the play call, but they get the stop and force the punt anyway. St. Louis back with it. 3rd and inches. Juskins will get the first down. Good run by Juskins, who continues to have a great day. He's been the man in the backfield with no Milan Santa. Nice grab there to start the 4th. Isaiah Likely comes down with it to the 47. Dragons are chipping away at this clock. They've already chewed 3 minutes here in this quarter. Is on 3rd down. Colin Robinson gains around 8. Big tackle there by Katsulia Chopra. And ultimately, the Dragons would punt it on 4th and 2, looking to pin Dallas deep. 2nd and 1. Algier to the outside with room. Gets the first as he's wrapped up by Samasoni Saluni, who led the team in tackles a year ago of 140, pushing him out of bounds. Now from the 41. Under 5.5 to go. Dak has his man at CeeDee Lamb, who beats, guess who? Cam Lucifer, who's been so steady in coverage his first 3 years. What's happening today? He looks like a lost cause out there. 3rd and 10 now. Dak on the run, nearly sacked by Bonnet, but instead he fires for a first down to Dynamite Williams, who's wide open. Williams has done pretty much nothing today. He has been shut down by Demore Diggins, but he does get the conversion. Here's Algier, breaks a tackle, still going backwards. Bleichenden with the initial hit. Bonnet finishes him off. Dallas going no huddle, 2nd and 12. It's caught by Lamb. Fumble! And Dallas holds on. Samasoni Saluni with the force. Devontae Wyatt with the pressure. And Simeon Bonnet is injured again. 3rd and 3 now with 3.5 to go. Big play here for Dallas. Play action. Prescott under pressure. Hit as he throws. Incomplete into the back of the end zone. Penultimo Barahona, the 2nd-year linebacker out of UCLA with the pressure. Got to go for it here on 4th and 3. Game might be on the line. It's Algier who gets the first down to the 11. Algier, of course, was on the Saints team last year who beat the Dragons in the playoffs as Dak connects in the back of the end zone with his backup tight end, Chris Talbot. What a throw there by Dak. His 4th touchdown at the game. The booth is going to review this one. But ultimately, it looks like Talbot was able to get the feet in bounds as Okudah is unable to get there quick enough. All the attention has been on Cam Lucifer, but Okudah has also not been very good today. He, of course, signed a 2-year extension of his own this offseason. And now St. Louis is looking to chew clock. It's a pass, though. Downfield, picked off! Trayvon Diggs with the interception, and this game is now wide open for the Cowboys. So I know there's going to be a lot of people thinking, what in the world are the Dragons doing throwing the ball down the field? I get it was not a good play call. In hindsight, it almost worked because Modelo ran a great route and was wide open, but Puma Whitlock underthrew the pass. That is all on him. So now the Cowboys can take the lead as Dak connects with Jake Ferguson to the 18-yard line. And here at the 2-minute warning, we thought this game was over at multiple points in this game. But the Cowboys, continuing to hang around, have a chance to take the lead as CeeDee Lamb brings it to the 1. The Cowboys are right there. They can just taste it. And if they're smart, they're going to let this clock burn. 1st and goal at the 1. It's Algier for the score. And the Cowboys take the lead. So we got to go back to that play call on the last possession. Going downfield is risky. The Dragons did not want the Cowboys to get the ball back. They wanted a silencer with that deep pass, and again, it almost worked. Modelo was wide open. Puma underthrew him, and now Puma needs to save the day after possibly blowing the game as he starts with a screen to Juskins. He's out of bounds for a gain of 8. Puma was rocked there. Good job to get rid of it. 2nd and 2. Short throw, Likely with the first down. Bold strategy to throw it near Trayvon Diggs, by the way. Diggs looking for possibly another interception if he can get it. Under a minute left, it's an RPO for Arturo Modelo. The Dragons still going short as Modelo is tackled. It looked like inbounds. The Dragons thought he was out, so this clock is going to continue to run. Short throw caught by Modelo, immediately goes out of bounds to stop the clock with 31 seconds. And it is worth noting, the Dragons do have all 3 timeouts in their back pocket. Play action. Puma looking deep. He's got Modelo wide open, but his hit as he throws incomplete. That could have been 6, but he gets the ball out just a half second too late. 2nd and 10, still with all 3 timeouts. Puma has Jamison Williams for the first down. He is tackled inbounds again as St. Louis finally calls a timeout at the 30. It looks like they're in field goal range, but I imagine they want to get a little closer for safekeeping, especially still having 2 timeouts in their back pocket. Puma on the run to the right. He connects. It's Modelo who is wrapped up at the 13. And with that, the Dragons are definitely in field goal range right now after throwing the ball in a situation where they should have ran it on the last drive. Do not expect them to make the same mistake again. Here's Juskins up the middle. Good run, brings it to the 5. And the Cowboys are not going to use their timeouts. I don't know why, but we're going to let this clock roll. Call the time with 2 seconds left. And presumably bring the field goal unit out for the win. It's a chip shot for Cam Dicker, but he's missed some game-winning kicks in the past. I wouldn't put it past him, as Mike McCarthy will finally use one of his timeouts. Only 8 seconds too late. 22 yards here for Cameron Dicker for the win here in week 1. It's up, and it is right down the middle. The St. Louis Dragons survive, hanging on for dear life as they beat the Cowboys at the buzzer, 37-35 here in week 1. Now, we saw the good, the bad, and the ugly in this game. It was not always pretty, but we've got to be feeling good. We played against the number 1 seed in the NFC last year on the road and won the game. There's a lot to work on both sides of the ball, but overall, we've got to feel pretty good. Now, offensively, we moved the ball at an elite level. The passing game was great. The run game was great. I thought the offensive line looked pretty good. The receivers played well. Puma Whitlock had an awesome game today. But, man, that interception hurts. And I get it was a bad play call in hindsight, but Modelo was wide open. You got to make the throw. But he made up for it with the game-winning drive and overall a really strong performance. Dak Prescott also played very well. Both quarterbacks combining for 7 touchdowns. Both teams ran the ball really well. Darwin Juskins was a beast. Tyler Algier played quite well. And then in the passing game, Arturo Modelo had a great day. Got to clean up the drops, though. CeeDee Lamb played well. J-Mo played well. Moore played well. Amarion Cephas played well. Dynamite Williams was quiet, though. He was held up by Demore Diggins, who had one of the best games in coverage I've ever seen from him, especially considering how bad Okudah and Lucifer were. Again, I thought the offensive line was pretty good. I want to see more from the pass rush. I thought Simeon Bonnet did a good game, though. I get the numbers aren't that impressive, but he had like half a dozen hits on Prescott in the backfield that were nearly sacks. Lucifer with the interception doesn't distract the fact that he was awful. And shout out Cameron Dicker. He made 7 kicks, including the game winner. Now, I said going into this game I was focused on the pass defense, and my lord, the passing defense was awful. Shout out to Demore Diggins. He showed up. Nobody else did, though. So hopefully the pass defense is better. I will say we're not going to be playing against guys like Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Dynamite Williams every week. But no, that was not pretty. As for Malachi Weston, he had a pretty quiet game and unfortunately does not advance his breakout challenge. But he's going to continue to play going forward, and hopefully he can get some big sacks for us. We do have a new injury. We had a couple guys get banged up, but ultimately it is just a backup here. Gift Aaron Jr., who broke his thumb. He'll miss the next 3 games. Let's take a look at the results around the league here in week number 1. The top 2 quarterbacks for this draft played against each other. Simone Rashid for the Vikings and Gavin Hennessy for the Rams. The final score was 9-7. Players of the week, Juan Escala Salazar. Big game for the Commanders. He's joined by Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Donald, who's still playing at like 37 years old, and Mapanos Gaspar, the number 1 overall pick, with 3 sacks for the Titans, matching the amount of points the Titans scored, 3. So that'll bring us into weeks 2 and 3 in the next episode, a doubleheader. We're going to play against the Carolina Panthers, a team we have some history with, and 2 supposedly juggernauts in the NFC. Then we've got 4 consecutive division games that starts at home against the Los Angeles Rams with rookie quarterback Gavin Hennessy. The Rams were obviously pretty disappointing last year, but with a rookie quarterback, could things be changing for them? That'll wrap up the episode. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. Peace out.